Julian, I want to go back to investment 101. How do you pick a stock to buy?
Well, I think you pick a stock to buy that has good management and that has a good product line and that is moving ahead and it is stockholder oriented. And I think those are three very big factors.
Everybody's a genius in early 2009, buy straw hats and winner. It's a lot harder now to put new money in the market. Where do you get the courage to invest today?
Well, I think that there sometimes maybe it's a little good to move away from your normal bill of fare, say stocks and all that, and maybe look at currencies. They're very interesting to analyze, and that's a very good area to look at now. There's a lot of volatility in them.
Is America going to have a strong dollar policy, even though we don't talk about it as we did in 1995?
I don't think we have a particularly strong dollar policy at all.
Japan has a weak yen policy.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It's not about us.
Yesterday we had an honest man on surveillance. Troy Gajewski of Skybridge Capital said you can't get 15% returns without tremendous risk. That seemed sober and a responsible thing to say. What are the returns that you think one could reasonably expect in the next 2 or 3 years?
Well, in the stock portfolio, I think it's going to be very tough. I think we have squandered a lot of our future on poor policies through here. And I think what's happened is that the Federal Reserves throughout the world have tried desperately to depreciate the currencies throughout the world. Mm-hmm. And we, of course, have tried desperately to keep our bonds low, and so has everybody else. So we've got a big bubble brought on by bond yields being so ridiculously low that it's forcing people who would otherwise be in stocks.
Well, you mentioned that.
I mean, be in bonds to be in stocks.
Julian, you've mentioned that before here. You've also mentioned before your affection for Apple Computer. We saw yesterday an historic moment as Tim Cook announced that he was gay. He did that with Bloomberg Business Week, and I thought the response, thank you so much to everyone for their response yesterday through Twitter and through emails as well. First, your comment on a corporate leader of America saying that he is gay.
Well, I think America has adjusted to the gay marriage thing better than they've done anything practically in history. And, I mean, people who would have thought they would have thrown up at the idea of gay marriage are now all with it. So I think we've come a long way on that, and I think it's good that, but I think Tim Cook has been acknowledged homosexual for some time.
Well, it was out there, but then he made a formal statement on it yesterday within Bloomberg Business Week. Julian, if we look at Apple Computer, is Carl Icahn your best friend in New York City this holiday season? I mean, his activism has moved that stock higher.
Well, the company is awfully cheap, and I think these great companies like Apple and particularly like Google would be selling at 2 and 3 times their prices if we were in the 60s and 70s again. Mm-hmm. All these great companies are then sold at 60 and 70 times earnings.
If you didn't have the Fed involved.
Well, I don't know whether that's, I don't think it's so much the Fed there. I think it's the fact that the people really just bid up those great companies.